Welcome everyone. We're excited to host you to today's session around how businesses can streamline and transform their time management processes completely using advanced artificial intelligence technologies. I'm Gary Morley, the Regional Director, Asia Pacific for Replicon, and I'm joined by my colleague, Juan Manjotra, who's one of our senior solutions experts. Let's quickly take a look at today's agenda. Okay, on today's agenda, we will quickly look at the current state of time management and the problems associated with it and why change is needed. We'll then look at some of the existing use cases Replicon solves from having worked with thousands of customers and with an expertise spanning over 20 years in the industry. We understand that there can still be transformation, and we will cover how we are utilizing artificial intelligence to make time management, take it to the next level, which will be followed by a quick demonstration. We will then delve into the benefits for customers using our time intelligence platform and answer any questions that come in. So before we dive in, we have a few housekeeping items we need to touch on. You'll be on mute during today's presentation, and there will be a Q&A session at the end. But if you have any questions at any time during the webinar, please feel free to submit them through the question box within your window within the webinar app, and we'll make sure we'll have them answered either during the Q&A session at the end. If not, certainly we'll follow up with each of you individually. Okay, so why artificial intelligence and why now? It's obvious that AI is here to stay. Its adoption and application has been exponentially growing by the number of AI startups, VC funding available, and confidence being shown by enterprises in the AI space as testimony to the fact. The impact of AI technologies on businesses is projected to increase labour productivity by up to 40%. That's huge. Enable people to make more efficient use of their time. So at Replicon, to enable businesses with the latest advanced tech, we started to look at what capabilities can be derived out of this booming market. Let us talk about a few that we are working on and see tremendous potential. Our vision is to make time management as non-intrusive as possible, and we think that AI has the potential to transform this important business process into something that we can create and deliver great benefits for all organizations. But before we jump in, let's have a look at time management as it looks like within organizations today. Well, we call it the Time Frankenstein, and this is the reality in most businesses today. Time is fragmented across multiple systems companies have as part of their ecosystem. Businesses have their HCM, their PSAs, their ERP, their payroll systems, and a bunch of other mostly legacy systems tracking a small portion of their time. The issue is most of these systems are for single use case, like PSA, systems that help track project resources, or HCM that can do salaried employees, and they can help a specific use case, well, but nothing beyond that, as in they're individually focused as opposed to time across the enterprise. This makes it tedious for businesses to get a centralized visibility and control of their enterprise time as a whole. And this is a huge problem. So why is it a big problem? Well, because time goes missing when organizers have these disparate systems for managing enterprise-wide time. And these are some of the failure points. Because these traditional point systems for some time are not great at collecting time data, they add to the inaccuracy and inconsistency. There are huge overhead costs associated with managing time with these systems because of a lot of human intervention that is made necessarily would mold them into business processes. And this lack of accurate data plus huge overheads means the business doesn't have the ability to understand the true value of time as an asset within their business. which is not surprising, as most businesses do not know what their employee hours are worth or how many people hours they do have to use. Do organisations know how they're spending their enterprise time that's at their disposal today? Well, we do not believe so. As a 500-person organisation, which is basically a mid to a large organisation in the region, that means within that size organisation, you have 1 million+ hours at your disposal. If we pause and ask the question, what do we get from those 1 million hours? Most businesses do not have an answer to that question. And if you ask yourselves that at the moment and you're not sure, well, this is something that you should think about, because it's mission critical for your company's future success. But if you look at it, time needs to be managed like an asset, just like businesses manage their money and resources. As employees, time can cost an organisation 60% of their operating expenses. Not having visibility and control over employee time means businesses lack control over 60% of their operating expenses. So that's an issue. Replicon wants to help businesses manage their scarcest resource, time, and manage it as an asset with centralized visibility and control. Businesses need to connect time to outcomes produced. They should not have to spend time in collecting the time data, but should be able to analyze their time, plan, and learn to make changes to drive productivity and profitability. Now, I'll repeat that again. That's an important point. Organizations should not have to spend time in the collecting of data, but should be able to focus on analyzing their time, planning, and learn how to make changes to drive productivity and profitability within the business. This is a key takeaway from today's webinar, and something you should reflect back into your own businesses. Businesses need a new way to think about time and need a transformation to manage their time better. They simply need time intelligence. This is Replicon's blueprint of our time intelligence platform that will help transform time into an asset. Our customers utilize our time intelligence platform to harvest time from anywhere on any device, use our intelligent processing to validate, understand and make time predictions, and also share the intelligence with their evolving ecosystem. We have pre-built time intelligence products and enterprise solutions that help businesses with every use case there is around time within the enterprise. With our time attendance product, businesses manage time and labour for their dispersed workforce in real time, apply relevant pay rules, and streamline the pre-payroll process. Client billing can help professional services organisation track up to the minute project time, capture all billable hours, and efficiently manage resources, projects, clients, and billings. Customers also use us to account for all projects, status, resources to manage delivery, project costing, and we also help to simplify time off and expenses. On the enterprise solution side of things, we have enterprise time management. Replicon Time Intelligence can help businesses modernize their existing legacy ERPs with its purpose-built enterprise-grade time management system to help accelerate ROI. With our global time and gross pay automation, the platform helps global multi-location organizations stream their enterprise-wide gross pay operations with a unified platform for time, labor, pay rules, compliance, gross pay management at scale. And then we have our business operations software for professional services businesses that help professional service businesses optimize their end-to-end workflow and tie planning, service execution with financial performance to maximize profitability. And businesses can easily use our web services API to connect to their existing ecosystems to pass on knowledge. Our customers also use us for more than 33 different use cases. And here are a few more. IT professional services, consulting businesses use us for project billing and resource management. Various sectors use us to manage employee attendance and compliance. We help non-profits and education institutes with managing grants to help justify the spending. We help shared services departments within big financial, insurance and manufacturing, education sectors with accurately managing shared service chargebacks. Many R&D, engineering and manufacturing firms use us to account for R&D tax credits. The oil and gas and manufacturing and utility industries use us for labour cost capitalisation, and so many more industries use us for in many other different ways. Very diverse. Our platform is built for rapid adoption and supports time management from anywhere, anytime. We help businesses track bulk hours. If there is a need to enter time in, out times, or clock in or out, we support that. We already support complex client project task structures and have a modern time clock and mobile options with approval workflows. We are truly global in every sense of the word. The platform is built to handle complex, multi-location, diverse employee types with a global library for compliance and customers spread across 70 countries around the globe. We support global governance where we can set, you can set policies and privileges at a global level, but also allow local control to customize as you require locally. Our platform is built for the future and streamlines time management with the use of advanced technology such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the Internet of Things. And we believe this is the future. Consumer apps are already adapting a lot of this advanced tech, and we believe enterprises can make the most of it too. Let us see how AI can help businesses transform. As per studies, error rates for image identification has fallen from nearly 30% to below 2.5% since 2010 and have overtaken human performance. If you've been paying attention to your Facebook feed, you'll have seen the disclaimer about their ability to recognize your images better and how they're incorporating that into their technology. Replicon has incorporated these advanced capabilities into time clocks and mobile devices to make access seamless, frictionless, and increase accuracy. Our facial recognition capabilities make our modern clock truly intelligent. Employees need not to remember to use an ID to log in or to carry a QR code to be read. Just walk in, get authenticated based on your face. It makes the whole process automated, quick, and seamless. It makes the puncher secure and eliminates buddy punching right at the clock. Also, there is no added hardware cost. If you have an iPad, our app can be downloaded and you are ready to go. We utilize these authentication methods for our mobile and have enabled Touch ID and Face ID. This keeps the data accuracy high and makes time tracking process a breeze. One thing I'm really excited about is chatbots and their potential use cases within an enterprise. From Siri to Alexa to Starbucks, they are everywhere. How many of you use them to check out the weather or to dim your living room lights or to play your favorite tune? We are boasting of our intelligent AI-powered chatbot. It is a personal assistant and you can strike a conversation with it around your time. It's like talking to a colleague. It makes the whole process interactive and takes away the pain associated with it. Businesses are bound to see increases in adoption and data, as well as data accuracy and consistency, a more natural interface. Empower your employees by turning a mundane task into an interaction as it should be. More engagement, ease of use, more accuracy, more control of that time as an asset within your business. Another advancement for supervisory staff and managers is around reducing administrative overheads related to workflows. Most of us already know about Nest and how these smart thermostats make real-time adjustments based on a number of conditions to increase power efficiencies. Also, Google's proprietary maps are set to become more accurate and efficient owing to deep learning technology, which is being integrated into the app. I personally use Google Traffic to decide on the route I should take back home. When I need to pull it up and check right before an intersection as to which route is less traffic prone. That used to be the case, but Google has been learning from this and has started throwing a notification a little before I reach an intersection, reducing the overhead of me having to check out the route and which is the best way to go. And similarly, here at Replicon, we've been investing in making approvals and business workflows in an easier way to increase efficiencies. Our advanced business process workflows can be tailored to any business requirement that you have. The approval routing can be decided in real time based on data validations and exceptions. This reduces the overhead on approvers to manage the routing and helps make them make informed decisions with relevant information at their fingertips. For example, if you want approvers just to get exception timesheets, whatever those exceptions may be, you can set your workflow to do that, or if you want to manage overtime and have specific routing based on overtime hours or time off type, you can create one. You can create one, and the system learns and reacts in real time. Complete engagement. This advanced configurability helps businesses optimize their review process and keeps the overheads low. So at this stage, what I'd like to do is to hand off to Pawan. He'll now step through a quick demonstration showcasing these items that we just spoke to. Just waiting for Pawan to bring his screen up. There we go. Sorry, that was my fault, folks. I had Pawan on mute for some reason. He's now back live.
All right. Are you able to hear me now, Gary?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful, wonderful. So sorry about the little bit glitch over there. And just a heads up, if you're able to see my screen, if you're able to see the Replicon bot.
Yes, we are.
Wonderful, wonderful. So just to give the audience some background, like Gary had mentioned earlier, what Replicon is really focusing on as an organization is the ability for users to be able to capture time non-intrusively. And there are a couple of different methods and mechanisms that we've exposed in order for us to be able to achieve this. One of them is, of course, our intelligent bot, the Replicon intelligent bot that you're seeing on my screen. What's very helpful about this, like Gary has described, is that we can actually get an intelligent assistant to be able to complete some of those mundane tasks, such as time entry. And what everyone is looking at the moment is the Replicon mobile app, along with some of the existing functionality that your team may be used to today. right? So it's essentially just adding to what you've already got on the app with addition to the Replicon bot right there. Now, the ability to review timesheets, understanding approvals, and more importantly, just to have the bot do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Right, so what's very helpful about the bot is that I can actually type in whatever requests I have. Like I can type in hello as an example, which I'm going to do right there on my screen, and you should see it. Right? It gives me, so let me scroll down there, and there you have it, right? So it gives me a list of all the commands that I can actually go and enter into the system, or I can even use the text to speech, which I'm going to do over here. I'm going to say hello, and there it has the responses there, right? So I'm going to ask it to do a couple of things. For example, as you can see over here, there are some tasks that it can help me with regards to entering time for today, with filling out timesheets, with submitting timesheets, with viewing timesheets for approval, expenses, time offs, and so on. In this case, what we'll do is let's try to enter some hours for today. So I'm going to tell it, enter hours for today. So the bot is going to ask me how many hours I'd like to enter, right? It's already got a calculation of the total hours that I've entered on a Monday and a Tuesday, and it's asking me what I'd like to go in and put on a Wednesday. It's also suggesting it could be 8 hours based on my historical timesheet data. So I'm going to ask it to enter 8 hours. Enter 8 hours. All right. That was right. So there we have enter 8 hours. So as you can see, the current timesheet has a total of 16 hours. Today has no time entries. Would you like to add them? Let's do this again very quickly. Yes. And as you can see, there's a confirmation done. Added 8 hours for today. Would you like to view my timesheet? I'm going to say yes. Yes. So now what it's actually doing is it's taking me directly into my timesheet. And remember that any of the configurations that have been set up on the Replicon platform, this is going to mirror. So this includes payroll information. If I scroll down, you can see all of my payroll information right there, as we're able to see on the web instance right there. So all of this is prior to submission. I can absolutely go ahead and review everything over there, make sure everything is correct and accurate, and only then go ahead and submit my time entries out for approval. And so the intelligent assistant is a very good way for me to be able to interact with the system without having to do a lot of the heavy lifting on my own. And as I'm doing this, the assistant is actually learning in real time. So the longer I use the assistant, it's actually going to start having some predictive outcomes. It's going to start learning patterns. It's going to start understanding things that I've constantly been working on, and as a result, make some suggestions. So this is really tying into the machine learning and artificial intelligence messaging that Gary was describing earlier. So let's look at approvals over here from what the bot can do. I'm going to go back in over here. I'm going to look at the approval process. Approve timesheets. I took the B there. I spoke a little too fast. Let's do that again. Approve timesheets. And there it's telling me that I've got 2 timesheets for approval. Do you want to approve them? I'll say yes. Yes. And there I have the confirmation that it's done approving those timesheets. So other than me just going into the approval screen, if there are a number of approvals that are already outstanding, I can have the bot do it. And as we're able to see, we've now completed that, right? So there's no outstanding approvals, and I still have accessibility to all of my historical data within the system for my team members. I can go in right there to see my own timesheets. I can go into the dashboard to see my team members. So there we have it. All of those all of the data is still available over here, right? So That's really with regards to the Replicon app. The app not only empowers end users to be able to enter time very seamlessly and quickly, but also leverage the intelligent assistant with helping with regards to the approvals and managing team effectively by interacting with the assistant. We will now look at the cloud clock. So the other part of today's overview that I like to review with the audience over here is the facial recognition on cloud clock. And this is, of course, what Gary did describe earlier. So part of Replicon's strategy to help ensure that users no longer have to interact with traditional time clocks is what we call facial recognition. And as everyone can see, the system can actually start learning who the individual or the employee is. So as we're able to see here, it's going to identify myself. I'm going to just bring the iPad right there. And that's me. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to take a break over here. And there it's captured my punch, as you can see. Right? So while it's captured this punch, all this information is passed on to the supervisor in real time, along with the GPS coordinates, along with my location, along with the image, and essentially all of this happening in real time. Right? Now, what we've had with what we've traditionally heard with existing time clocks is that when we're dealing with biometrics, then there is this scenario where, for example, in mining or construction industries, people's fingers get dirty, right? And it's difficult for the system to actually effectively read the fingerprints. Now, even QR codes or proximity sensors, people tend to forget them. They tend to forget their badges. And what's really unique about the facial recognition technology is that it prevents the need for users to have to interact with the cloud using any of these traditional methods, right? We can simply allow employees to walk up to the clock, and the clock can identify the staff and, of course, remember them along with the GPS coordinates and the images. And as mentioned, all of this is sent out to the supervisor in real time, right? So that's with the cloud clock. We'll now look at the timesheet conditional approval rules that I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and share my web browser over here. And Gary, let me know if you're able to see my screen there.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the other thing that I wanted to, of course, review in detail was, like Gary has mentioned earlier, with regards to what we call the intelligent routing, right? So why is this important for any of our customers? There's a number of customers that have benefited tremendously by this because we frequently hear that approvals are inundated with tedious tasks, right? So approvers have a lot of timesheets coming in on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and it's the same thing that they're doing over and over again. So there are timesheets that are probably submitted without any overtime incurred, as an example, and we want the ability to simply approve them. If there are no exceptions or any overtime incurred, then so be it, right? So in this scenario where supervisors need to be involved if there is overtime managed or actual time, we can expose that capability as well. So really the purpose of this is so that we're getting rid of a lot of the noise that approvers have to deal with, and we're only bringing items of importance to their attention when it's required. Another common example is that supervisors or approvers are away for a reason. And if they're unable to approve the timesheets, that's hindering financial reporting or payroll processing. So perhaps you want to have it escalated to the next level. So this is what we're looking at with regards to the supervisors approving overtime. And this is what I'm talking about right now, where we're looking at escalating any of those entries. So we can inundate what the elapsed time is right there. It could be 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever metric I'd like to define over here. So this will automatically escalate itself to the appropriate individual. So if direct manager is not available, it'll go off to a director and then to a VP and then so on and so forth. And this way we can ensure that only appropriate individuals are involved with the approval process. Of course, more importantly, there are some other scenarios which we can talk about with regards to accommodating things like time off and expenses, which is essentially if you've got some time off conditions, supervisors only approve if over a specified duration. So you can go ahead and define your booking duration right there, overdraws applicable, you can have that checked. If it's against a specific time of type, that could be mentioned over here and saved. It's the same thing that we've also got with expenses, where supervisors approve expenses over a certain amount only. So if you've got a certain set of amount that does not require approval, that would automatically get processed through the approval process. However, if something really needs to come in over here, we can actually set it up with those parameters. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone. And Gary, I'd like to pass this back over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pawan. Excellent demo. Very exciting stuff, I'm sure you'd all agree. As mentioned before, Replicon's vision is to make time management as non-intrusive as possible, and we believe the best way to manage this and manage time as an asset is to create an environment where employees need not track time at all. And as you can see from the demonstration with Pawan, that it's certainly not only in our technology today, but on our future roadmap as it evolves. Imagine a day in the future when AI-enabled platform pings an employee with his timesheet or her timesheet, and his or her consent, checks for exceptions to approve it, and knows which compliance rules or billing rates need to be applied, presenting it then back to payroll or finance teams with what the payroll runs or invoices should look like. We believe that that day is not far away, and we're well down that path to that goal. And as you can see again with Pawan's demonstration today, the essence is already there in terms of functionality of our time intelligence platform. Organizations will be managing their people, time, and get centralized visibility and control, making the most out of their millions of hours at their disposal. That's what you should be reflecting back into your organization, that human capital, that time as an asset, how to improve performance, overall performance of the business. Many organizations are already utilizing our advanced capabilities to gain control of their enterprise time and in the process achieving a competitive advantage. And here's just a small sample of some of the organizations that we work with locally and globally. Companies such as Facebook, British Gas, Deloitte's, Hewlett-Packard, Siemens, the list goes on. Our customers reap benefits across the enterprise utilizing this advanced form. Customers have reported increases in employee productivity, tremendous increases in time accuracy and admin efficiencies while reducing labor costs and revenue leakages. For every time management need within an enterprise, we have an answer. We have more than 7,800 businesses all leveraging Replicon today. So let's quickly look at a couple of use cases. The first one we'll look at is Rock Oil, who's a global client of Replicon's and also based here in Australia. What problem were they looking or seeking to solve when we first engaged? Essentially, it was around growth being at risk in their business. And they had delays in labour cost assessments, and they had lack of visibility into long-running projects, both locally and globally. Once engaged with Replicon and using our time intelligence platform, they're able to use advanced configurability to meet their critical needs, and they had ended up with a highly intuitive system with minimizing minimal training required to the end user. They accelerated their billing cycles, obtained real-time visibility into employee time worked across all projects. And the second one we'll have a look at is Blackboard, again, another global organization. Their problem that they were confronting at the time was growth being at risk, and data was becoming increasingly inaccurate due to cumbersome processes. This was limiting insight and prevented effective forecasting for future product investments. Once engaged and starting to utilize the capabilities of Replicon's time intelligence platform, They were able to increase growth potential, and hours were attributed to R&D projects in an accurate and effective manner. Less time was spent tracking, meaning more time was spent making strategic decisions about resource management to improve their forecasting. They also reduced liability risk by getting clarity on hours worked, ensured accurate audits for tax credits back into the business. Now, well, we have, as you've seen today, a number of pre-built products and enterprise solutions that we support, and we can, quite easily, either you can organise through this link here, or we can reach out to you to either give access to a trial, which you can get directly from our website, or we can set up something that's personalised, specific to your business, where we can actually build out a demonstration for you. Okay, that's, I think I've got a few more here. I think we'll close on that. The other questions that we may not have, we haven't got to here as such, we'll certainly come back to you in email as well as direct form. But I'd like to close today's webinar. I hope you enjoyed the content and the information that we've provided here. Again, if you do want more information from us, please reach out through our sales@replicon.com email address, and we'll be surely in contact with you soon. With that said, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and also for my colleague Pawan Majotra and his work on delivering today's showcase. So with that said, I
Thank
will
you,
close
Gary, and thanks everyone.
our session. Thank you all.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.